Good morning, everybody. Today's lecture on the sixth cranial nerve, that is the abduction nerve, which supplies the lateral rectus muscle of the eyeball. Now, introduction. Abduction nerve, that is the sixth cranial nerve, it supplies the lateral rectus muscle of the eyeball. It has long intracranial course. Now, functional components. The sixth nerve having only two functional components, that is general somatic efferent fibers, that is for the lateral movements of the eyeball. We supply the lateral rectus muscle. Then general somatic afferent fibers for the proprioceptive impulses from the muscles to the mesencephalic nucleus of the fifth cranial nerve. Now, nucleus. Abduction nucleus, which is situated in the upper part of the floor of the fourth ventricle in the lower pons beneath the facial colliculus. This is the front view of the brainstem, consisting of the midbrain, pons and medulla. This abduction nerve is attached at the front of the brainstem, at the lower border of the pons and the opposite the pyramid of the medulla. This is the attachment of the abduction nerve. Now, this course and the distribution of the sixth cranial nerve. In their intraneural course, the fibers of the sixth cranial nerve runs ventrally and downwards through the trapezoid body, medial lemniscus, and the basilar part of the pons to reach the lower border of the pons. Now, nerve is attached to the lower border of pons opposite the upper end of the pyramid of the medulla. Now, this is the nucleus of the sixth cranial nerve, which is present at the lower part of the pons. Okay, this nucleus is surrounded by the motor fiber of the seventh nerve, which form the internal genu of the seventh nerve, and this elevation is known as facial colliculus. This is facial colliculus. That's why this sixth nerve lies beneath the facial colliculus of the pons. Now, the fibers from the sixth nerve nucleus arises from the nucleus and passes through the trapezoid body, then through the medial lemniscus and basilar part of the pons, and it is attached to the lower part of the pons opposite the pyramid of medulla. Now, this abduction nerve runs upwards, forwards, laterally through the cisterna pontis and enters the cavernous sinus by piercing the posterior wall at a point lateral to the dorsum cili and the superior to the apex of petrous temporal bone. As the nerve crosses the superior border of the petrous temporal bone, it passes beneath the petrosphenoidal ligament and bends sharply forwards. Now, in the cavernous sinus, at first the nerve lies lateral to the internal carotid artery, then infralateral to it. 6. The abduction nerve enters the orbit through the middle part of the superior orbital fissure. Here it lies infralateral to the oculomotor and nasociliary nerves. The last point, in the orbit the nerve ends by supplying the lateral rectus muscle. Only one muscle supplied by the abduction nerve. Now, the course of the abduction nerve. Now, this is the nucleus of the sixth nerve, which lies in the lower part of the pons beneath the facial colliculus. This is the facial colliculus, this is the nucleus. The fibers arising from this nucleus of the sixth nerve, they runs forwards, ventrally and downwards through the trapezoid body, then it passes through the medial lemniscus and through the basilar part of the pons. The nerve is attached at the lower border of the pons, opposite the upper part of the pyramid of the medulla. Then fibrous runs upwards, forwards, and laterally. Then it passes through the cisterna pontis. Then it reaches the cavernous sinus by piercing the posterior wall of the cavernous sinus. Now then it enters the superior orbital fissure through its middle part. Then it enters the orbit and ends by supplying the lateral rectus muscle of eyeball. Now clinical anatomy. Number 1. In increased intracranial pressure, the abduction nerve gets compressed, resulting in the medial squint and diplopia. Medial squint means eyeball deviate to medial side because of the paralysis of the lateral rectus muscle, and diplopia is nothing but the double vision. The second point, the sixth nerve paralysis is one of the commonest false localizing sign in the case with the increased intracranial pressure. Its susceptibility to such damage is due to its long course in the cisterna pontis, to its sharp bend over the superior border of the petrous temporal bone, and the downward shift of the brain stem towards the foramen magnum, resulting in the medial squint and diplopia. The sixth nerve paralysis causes the failure of the abduction of the affected eye, and diplopia occurs due to the paralysis of the right lateral rectus muscle. This is about the sixth cranial nerve. Not so important. Just read. Okay. Thank you then.